I spent this whole week fighting with this thing called OpenClaw. Now, I'm not a coder by any means. I'm not one of those little nerds with the glasses and the big, thick Dilbert glasses. And I'm like, I don't know what terminal is. Okay, if that thing comes up, I'm turning off the whole computer and restarting it. I have no idea what that is. I've never typed in weird commands before. I'm not like a little freako, a little weirdo guy. But I did want this OpenClaw thing to work for me. I almost got charged hundreds of dollars, and I didn't want to, spend that kind of money. I just want a smart little helper to be my administrative slave, my tech slave. Is that so wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want something to make my life easier, to do kind of administrative tasks or chat with on my phone. And let's get into the future here. And if you're thinking about installing OpenClaw onto your computer and going down this route, please watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 hard truths that you need to know before you install OpenAI. No fancy words, no technical lingo, just the real stuff that really will help you decide whether or not this is for you. And I'll tell you the one thing at the very end of the video, of what my perspective is and whether or not you should have this. My name is Aaron, Cowboys of Capital / crypto. I got into this whole techie world because of crypto, loved it, wanted to explore it, but now AI is this new frontier, and I wanted to explore that. So when I heard about this on the podcast, what's that called? All In Podcast, I was interested. I wanted to say, like, okay, what is this? And they were saying how it's revolutionary, it'll change people's lives. The 1% of the 1% are getting into it. I'm like, I'm always on the cutting edge. I'm always ready to discover and just hop in. I'm very risk tolerant. So this is something that I really wanted to do. But it ended up being such a big headache. For the last week, I've been fighting with this. And I don't know. Like, you're on a journey of self-discovery when you're trying to install this app, because it's like brand new. I know it's been out for a few months, but really, it's been only viral for a week, maybe 2. But here's 7 things that I wish people had warned me, so I'm warning you about before you even get started. Okay, number 1 is that it's actually not free, okay? You can download Moltbot or OpenClaw or whatever they're calling it now. But when you download it, again, I'm not a technical person. I should probably have known better, but I didn't, because no one's saying this, but I'm saying it to you. This costs money. It costs money all the time. So if you want to attach OpenClaw, which is like the skeletal structure, you need a brain for that thing. So that's an LLM. That is ChatGPT or Grok. I use Kimike. I use Grok and Kimike, actually. That's like Moonshot. It's like a Japanese, something Chinese. I have no idea. Anyway, I was recommended by it by other sources. I did my research. But you have to pay for the tokens, and the tokens cost money. So I topped up and I spent $20 on Kimike. And the language that it fed back was a little weird. It was jarring. It was like, it wasn't clean, not like I was used to. ChatGPT was very friendly, very warm, but I didn't really trust it because it hallucinates a lot. So I also paid for Grok. And by the time I was done paying, I paid $40, and I realized, oh, I don't just get a free like AI slave for the rest of my life. No, I got to pay for its usage. I just thought it was free. I don't know, like this might, if some of you technical guys are looking at me, you're like, obviously, I'm like, not obvious, okay? Not obvious to someone like me, okay? Again, not a coder, lizard brain here, but it's just something that we should be saying, this does cost money. I have spent in the last 7 days or so, nonstop working with this thing, probably about $15. On Moonshot, you get a $5 thing. I would try out which ones you'd like. I mean, Claude, I heard Opus was a good one, so I use both Grok and Claude, and between the two of them, actually, I've probably spent about $20. So that was for 1 week. That's trying to get everything set up. There's some other expenses there too, but essentially that's what I spent for just the LLM. There's some other things that you might need to spend on, like if you upgrade some plans on Vercel or GitHub or something, you get like the pro tier versions, which I'm not on, but I might need to get those. So those are some extra added expenses that we might be incurring while using OpenClaw. Number 2, setting up was a nightmare, okay? Everyone's saying it's so easy to install. It's one code, blah, 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 like that. Maybe it was one code, and maybe it's easy to install for someone who codes. I am not that person. It was very hard. It's like I said, a journey of self-discovery. You will discover yourself when you're trying to install something that is like talking to you, and it's like asking you all these questions. So like decision fatigue really set in. And I think my number 1 piece of advice here is just go slow. And I was going back and forth. Like I didn't know what to choose sometimes. Like they were giving you different prompts. And I guess I could try to make like an installation video. Maybe there's other people who are doing that do it better. But really, I just went back and forth when I ran into a problem, and this is the number one tip I got for you. And when I ran into a problem, I took a screenshot and I put it into ChatGPT. And until that stopped helping, then I took the same problem and I like highlighted a whole bunch of stuff and I moved it over to Grok, or I moved it over to Moonshot, and I kept having the AIs kind of solve it. And I kept taking all the research and the stuff and I moved it between the three AIs. So it took a long time to really get it up and working. And maybe I installed it, but it wasn't working, like on Telegram talking back to me. And if it was an error with Telegram or an error deploying or an error, it was hard. And when I got it finally working, as you can see behind me, I cried. Number 3, the dashboard. I thought the number one thing that I should create, the first thing I should be doing was creating a dashboard, other than like connecting it to Telegram. I wanted to visually see. I mean, like I'm lizard brain. I wanted to visually see the dashboard. It took me like 3 full days of agonizing pain and just like copy and paste this. And I was going back and forth between ChatGPT and all these other and Grok, and I was like, copy and paste this. Okay, now, and it would tell me to copy the whole thing and put it in there into GitHub, and then it said, okay, no, change this one line. I'm like, you just told me to copy the whole code here, and you're telling me to change one line. What is it? And then I ran out of credits on ChatGPT or Grok, and so I'm like, like just talking about it. Maybe you could hear the frustration in my voice, but yeah, that was a lot, and I could see why most people would quit at this moment, and I almost did. Glad I didn't. But when that little green light when that red light turned green, I was so happy. It was the happiest day of my life. Number 4, when I got it installed, there was a moment that was scary for me. There's the story of Deion Sanders, who had won 2 Super Bowl rings, and someone asked him, where are you going to go party? And he was like, I'm going home. There's this moment when you reach the top of the mountain and you don't know what to do. I had that moment. I was like, it's working. What do I I don't even know what to do. So I think probably having some kind of vision, I think that's what we need. You need to develop yourself a vision for how you could be using OpenClaw. I liked watching different people's use cases and these ideas, and I needed to develop a vision to see like, okay, how can my life, how can my business, how can my regular routines and habits be better, work more functionally, work more smoother if I have this fully working at my side. You need a vision, because otherwise when you get there, it's depression. Number 5, security. This is a real thing, okay? This is a real deal thing. I had a friend who put in their API key into ChatGPT to like try to figure something out. I don't know why. And ChatGPT leaked the API key out. And so what happened was someone took it and started using that API key and then ran their credits all the way down. So he had to recharge with Moonshot. Anyway, I have it on a separate computer all together. So I know my friend has it on a VPS, but I have it on a separate computer. I try not to install anything. I did have to buy some things, so I was a little nervous about putting my credit card in, but I deleted my credit card after. Maybe it still has my credit card, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just out here trying to get a AI slave. I keep calling it. Number 6, and this is interesting. No one around me wants to talk about it. I've got a big network. I have a lot of friends. And some people are interested. Most people don't know anything about it. And so if you're trying to install this thing, you are like the 1% of the 1%. And if you get something done with it, you're like a 1% of even that. And so I think like some group or some community is needed, or at least I need to be a part of, to where I could just be talking about this stuff, ideation, how we could be using this, problems that we're incurring. I think that's what Moltbook was about or something. I don't know, but it was very difficult. And if I didn't have someone like with me through this whole process, which is my friend, I don't know if I'd be doing this anymore. So here's my suggestion. Have someone else go through it with you. No one likes to talk about this stuff, but like it's really helpful to have someone just bounce ideas off and talk through exactly what you're doing, because he came at it from a VPS and I come at it from a physical computer, and so we're both having slightly different problems trying to achieve the same goal. Number 7, is this really for beginners? Yes it is, because I'm really a beginner. I don't know what your use case is. This kind of goes back to the first one. You got to have a vision for this thing, and need to know like what are you trying to go for. So is it for beginners? Yes, a beginner can, if I could figure it out. But this technical skill that you need to acquire to get this done is high. It's great. But you have ChatGPT and Gemini and all these and Grok. I use Grok, Moonshot, and ChatGPT mostly. So if you continually go back to those sources, like have another monitor onto your side, and you just copy and paste and copy and paste, and you're willing to copy and paste over 200 entries, yeah, this is for you. Number 8, number thing you should do, definitely know, definitely run it on your personal server. I like having it right behind me. I need something physical. This is all digital stuff, but I need something physical. My friend's got it on digital, and that's fine. Also, I try to get it on my phone. That's important too. That whole thing, just try getting it off your local server, which I'm like, how can I source a website on my local network? That doesn't even make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, it's online. It's in the clouds. Like, I need to go there in the clouds. So it's like, just say, I'm just being honest. Number 9, it takes a second to answer. When I type it into Telegram, it's thinking and it pauses. Sometimes it freezes, especially on my local computer. This is what I found out, that, yeah, it might not have the best amount of memory or RAM, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? Or power, or maybe it's turned off. Who knows? There's the local server. That's one of the problems here. Sometimes it takes a little longer to answer, and that's something you should be aware of. It's not instant. Number 9, you gotta set limits and parameters on spending and credits. Sometimes it'll hit this loop and it'll just spend it all the way down. I take out the credit card from the automatic recharge. That's what I do to make sure that it doesn't keep on charging my account or my whatever, and then I have like this massive bill of hundreds of dollars. No. So I put in the credit card, I top it off, then I remove it. I'm not sure if that's enough. Maybe I don't know. I haven't been charged, so I'm pretty good. But yeah, that's how you stop surprise. That's how I've been able to stop surprise big bills. But yeah, that's the only thing that I've done. Now, finally, is this for you? I'm going to say, yeah, look, this is the future. I fully believe that we could have your Claude bot, whatever, generating all these different AI agents for you, and there one's doing content creation, or another one's doing market research or demographic analysis, or reaching out to clients or follow up. I don't know what your use case is, but I think this is the future. I think this is where everything's going. And if you're here right now watching this, hopefully I saved you some headaches. Hopefully I saved you some pain, and I'm putting things in perspective on you, at least setting your expectations properly, because it wasn't set for mine. I'm watching all these other YouTube videos and they're all saying how easy it is, blah, blah, blah. They're all full of it. It's all bunk, okay? It's hard, it's difficult, but I think it's worth it. And if you stick around for my channel, you're gonna see me exploring the Wild West of crypto and AI. Glad to have you. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.